going to go ahead and start recording, so we're good to go. So right now I am logged into our DYL account that we use for the webinar here. If you've never logged into DYL before, you will go to the main DYL website, dyl.com. You'll see that here. And then you'll click on this login button in the upper right-hand corner. Our login page has changed as well, so you'll be able to go in and type in your email address and your password, and you'll select the login. And when you do that, you will end here on the leads page. We do go over the leads page in greater detail in the lead management webinar. We just had that previously today. So you have 3 more opportunities to sign up for that this week. We host our webinars Monday through Friday. Just a brief overview. This is where your leads are going to come in when you're purchasing internet leads. If they're coming in from a vendor, from a contact form on a website, they will come in on this page right here. If you also have it set up to do so, there will be an instant call where your phone is going to ring, and when you pick it up, it will say, press 1 to dial this lead. When you press the number 1, then you will be making the outbound call to that lead. So just keep that in mind. It is also dictated by your status. Up here in the upper right-hand corner, you should see your name, and then below that, you should see your dial status is either on or off. Right now, mine is off because I'm not doing any real-time internet leads, but if I hit this play button, it becomes a pause button, and it says your dial status is on. So as long as your dial status is on or active, you'll be receiving those internet leads, the calls. If you are not active, if you're paused, then you won't receive those calls. Here with the leads page, you can also filter your leads by these parameters. You can also move your leads around, the leads that are on this page, around to other folders as well by clicking into the boxes. You could choose all. You could pick one at a time, and then you'll have your bulk actions to move them into a folder here. These bulk actions and these boxes will come in handy also within the campaign, within the campaigns tab, which we're going to go into right now. So your campaigns tab is located right here between your calendar and your reports. Right now we have a list of campaigns in our account. Some of these are kind of old, some of these are a little more recent. So this is where you will see the list of your campaigns that you've already uploaded, and then you'll see the stats on them. You'll see when they were uploaded, how many leads in total are in the campaign, how many leads are uncalled, and how many leads you have called, and the percentage of called leads right here. You can also do a wireless check for phone numbers, and then you'll have your actions on the side. If you just want to delete the list, you can click on the trash can symbol. It will not delete the leads out of DYL. They will still be available. You're just removing the list from this page. And then if you want to go into the dialer right now, you can click on this little symbol, and it will take you right into the dialer. Towards the bottom, you have the campaign settings. You can assign your users to access to campaigns. Basically, this gives your users the ability to go into a campaign and start working it. It does not assign the leads in the campaign to those users. Again, it just gives the users access to that campaign, as you do have to give your users the permissions to manage campaigns. If they do not have the ability to manage campaigns themselves, when they go to the campaign page, they might not see this right here. They'll probably see something else. They'll probably see a notification saying that this user has not been assigned to any campaigns. So just make sure that if you are assigning them to a campaign, you're using this feature right here. And again, this only gives them access to the campaign, but it does not assign the leads in that campaign to them. If you want these agents to receive internet leads while they're on the phone, you can keep this on, or you can turn it off if you don't want them working internet leads while they're in the campaign dialer. Okay. Then you have your options up here as well. Manage list. This is where you will go to see your uploaded spreadsheets, our list of them. So this was the most recent spreadsheet that we uploaded. You'll see the date that it was uploaded and how many leads were on that spreadsheet. And then you have some actions right here. The arrow is to remap the fields. So if you need to put some of your things in different spots, you can remap them to new spots. So like if I wanted to make this first name, I can just do first name, and then I can do last name as well. Just remap them instead of doing first name, last name, or anything like that. Then this X is to delete these leads completely. It will remove them from every single campaign that they're on. So you want to be careful with this, because if you delete the batch, it's going to delete the leads completely. Whereas deleting a campaign list is only going to remove the campaign without deleting the leads. Okay? Then you have a create campaign option. You'll use this when you want to add a campaign, when you want to add a list to an existing campaign. So let's say you upload campaign and then you get another sheet of names in and you want to add it to a campaign that already exists. You'll use this link to do that. Before we get there though, I want to show you how to upload a campaign in general. You're going to use this upload list link. And when you do that, you'll be on the first step. Let me actually get out of here. Yeah. So now we're back on the first step. We were actually on the second step right there, but now we're on the first step. You're going to choose your file. It can either end in CSV, XLS, or XLSX. Okay, so we're going to choose our list. Okay, the list has been chosen. Then we're going to select our filters. Are we going to remove disconnected numbers? Or are we going to skip wireless numbers? All right. So again, if you expand it, you'll see filter disconnected, wireless filter. Filter disconnected. This will remove, if you leave this checked, this will remove any disconnected numbers from the upload. So those numbers will not be uploaded. I want to take a chance, so some of those numbers might actually still be active. So I'll uncheck the filter disconnected. Wireless filter. This will check for wireless numbers. And if I'm checking for wireless numbers at the beginning of the upload, when I go in to dial through the list using the campaign dialer, those wireless numbers will be skipped over. We put that in place because certain states, and I believe there is also federal law, but certain states also have their laws about using auto dialers with cell phone numbers. And while DYL is not an auto dialer, we still put that protection in place. If you're not worried about it, then you can uncheck this right here. The system is not going to check for wireless numbers on this list that you're uploading, and you don't run the risk of having those numbers get skipped over when you are using the campaign dialer. Okay? Now that that's out the way, we're going to save it. We can either save it as a new type of lead, or we can save it as an existing type of lead. So in this case, I'm going to save it as an existing type. I'm going to save it as one of the types that I created. So you see here it says my types. These are all the types that we named in the new type section. Whenever you name a new type, it becomes a permanent part of it, of the system, and then you'll be able to go back and access that type later. So in this case, I'm going to use this. Then we're going to hit upload. Once you hit upload, you are going to be on the second step now. You'll give the campaign a name. And then you'll choose what to do with the duplicates. If you are a new DYL customer, more than likely you're going to be skipping duplicates. You probably don't have a lot of leads in your system. So for the time being, especially when you're brand new to uploading spreadsheets and everything like that, it's okay to skip them. But now, but once you start reaching a point where, let's say, you're exporting leads out of DYL, you're scrubbing lists, and then you're re-uploading them into DYL, you're more than likely going to run into duplicates at that time. So instead of skipping the duplicates all around, I mean, you can do that, don't get me wrong. You can skip the duplicates if you know for sure that there are duplicates, or you can merge the duplicates together. It's going to find the corresponding duplicate and merge them together. Or you can just allow duplicates and the entries will exist in two separate entries. Then you're going to have your lead assignment. This is where you will assign your leads. You leave the leads unassigned and have them be assigned as the person goes through the list. You can auto-assign them. When you auto-assign, you'll be able to come in and choose which users to auto-assign them to. So I can assign them to Bruce Wayne, myself, and then one other user. I can leave it and just not assign it to anybody. I can assign all of the leads to myself even. Okay? Or you can assign from field right here as well. Okay? Finally, you're going to choose how to map the information into DYL. Basically, how it's going to show up, how you're going to be able to read it. This is where you're going to map that information. So on the left-hand side, these were the column names from our spreadsheets. And by column names, let me show you an example of a spreadsheet to explain what I mean by column names. Just waiting for Excel to open up. Okay, so now we have our spreadsheet right here, and this is the exact one that we're uploading. So when you are uploading spreadsheets into DYL, you want to make sure that there are column names listed. So there have to be column names listed right here in the very first row of the spreadsheet. If you do not have column names listed, then you're going to run into some problems trying to upload this list. So make sure that your first row has the column names of the information that you're trying to add. If there's any special information that you're trying to add, like policy information, you can give those a column name and add them to the spreadsheet as well. Another important thing is that you need phone numbers. So in your phone numbers column, every entry must have a phone number listed. You do not need to add the number 1 before the area code, and you do not need parentheses, dashes, or spaces between the numbers. So it has to be all 10 digits, area code, and the number together in one column. Again, each entry needs to have a phone number. If you're uploading a list, but you're not planning on dialing through it, you just want to get the leads into your account, fake numbers are fine. Just make sure that when you are ready to start calling those leads in any fashion, that you go in and update their information. All right, so now that that's been explained, back to the upload. These are the column names that they're pulling from the spreadsheet on the left-hand side. This is the data for the first lead on the list, so we're just making sure that it all matches. And then we're going to map them to the fields in DYL. So name, Tony Stark, that's going to first name, last name. Address to address, city to city, state to state, zip code to zip code, phone number to phone number. These special values right here, current insurance, X date, and coverage. If this were a brand new type that we created, we would have to specify this information. You will see in this column right here, the map to field, you will see a specify listed in parentheses. Anything that says specify on it, you will need to specify it on the right-hand side, right here. So if this were a brand new type that I was saving this as, and this all says specify, I would specify it and go here to current insurance, do the same thing for the X date, and same thing for coverage. You also have the ability to ignore fields that you don't want to upload as well. So if I didn't want to add current insurance, I can ignore that, and the system will not upload that information there. I also recommend that if you ever see any blank spaces, anything that says blank in italic letters, go ahead and ignore that as well, because that will cause an issue with the upload. All right, now that everything is mapped together, you've got your lead assignment, okay, you've named it, and you've done what you want to do with your duplicates, you're going to select this import button. The bigger the list, the longer it takes to upload. You're just going to go up here and just let it go. And now we have 7 records added, 0 duplicates, 0 invalid. You'll get this message in the right corner here. When it's green, that means that it was a successful upload. All right, so now our list is here. We see the data was uploaded. We see how many leads are on this list. 7 leads on the list. We have not called anybody yet. I can do a wireless check right here. It will not skip the numbers doing a wireless check this way, but this is just a way for me to make sure, just to see which numbers are wireless numbers. So now I'm going to go and click on the campaign name. It's going to take me into the campaign itself. As you see here, we have green dots next to each of the leads' names. That means that they are uncalled, and if you hover over it, it will say so. So green dot means that they are uncalled, they haven't been reached, they need a phone call. If these dots were blue, that means that they've been contacted, they've gotten a phone call. All right, you'll see the information up here at the top. Were the leads assigned? No. We can change this to list if we do assign the leads, but they were not assigned from the beginning. Skip wireless. If I select yes, the wireless numbers will be skipped. If I select no, those wireless numbers will not be skipped. So back in the beginning when we first uploaded the list, and you have those 2 boxes to check for the filters, and one of them was a wireless filter. If you left that box checked, when you came into this campaign, the yes would be highlighted and the no would not be highlighted. And this will let you know that you're skipping the wireless numbers whenever this is on yes. So if you don't want to skip the wireless numbers, you'll just select no, and the wireless numbers will not be skipped. We can do a wireless check here, and then it will tell you the date of the most recent wireless check. And then you can set a default voicemail message. In DYL, you have the ability to set up a pre-recorded voicemail message. And once you do that, you can drop those voicemail messages whenever you reach a voicemail. So in the campaign dialer, you can set a default message to be the first message that you can drop when you are going through and using the campaign dialer. Of course, you'll be able to go through and choose from the list, but if you just hit the voicemail button without going through the list, the default is going to be whatever you set here when you're in this campaign. And then we see our numbers right here also. If you click on this show right here, it will show you your disposition breakdown. So it looks like some of the leads were merged. That's why we have some dispositions right here. We have already sold, we have some nones, some bad leads, and some quoted leads right here. So it'll show you a disposition breakdown. Okay. Again, you'll see when the lead was received, name, phone number, type of lead, disposition, if it's assigned. And then you'll have your actions over here. Now we're going to start the dialer. So let me just check on my settings real quick. I'm just setting my inbound line to a phone. We're good. Let me just do this as a refresh. So now we're ready to start dialing. I'm going to go here and click on Go to Dialer. And when you do that, it's going to go to the first uncalled lead, which is Tony. Okay, we see his information right here. So we see his name, phone number, address. We have some actions listed here that we can take. We can change his disposition, put him on your hot list, assign him to another user. If we left a voicemail for him prior to us dialing him in a campaign, we can reset that. So whenever you leave a pre-recorded voicemail drop, you will have to go in and reset it afterwards in order to leave another voicemail drop. This does not apply if you're actually going to speak a voicemail into somebody's voicemail box. This is only for those pre-recorded voicemail drops. I can add him to a folder. I can add him to the SMS list to send a group message to, and I can merge his record with another record. Have a delete option here listed as well, and then I can set a callback for him if I want to. Of course, we see some other details right here. That extra information, coverage, X date, right here. That's all listed right here. We have a sticky note for important notes. We see upcoming events. Since he is a new lead, he's automatically set up on the email drip sequence, even though he does not have an email address listed. So I'm going to go ahead and remove him from that. And then we see the history right here as well. So we see outbound calls, dispositions, all of that's listed here. We have some functions towards the top. I can upload a file for him. I can set an appointment for him, send him a fax, write some notes. I can also write my notes down here. I can send him a text message. I can also send him a text message down here as well. And now we're going to click on Start Dialer to start the dialer. Okay. When you start the dialer, your phone is going to ring, and when you pick it up, the system will tell you to press 1. You want to press 1 on the screen, especially if you're not necessarily already on their contact page. Pressing 1 will take you into their contact page. So if you're not already there, then pressing 1 will take you there. So I'm going to press 1. You'll hear this.
Press 1 to start campaign.
I'll let you hear it one more time.
Press 1 to start campaign.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and press that 1 so we can start the campaign. Pressed it, and now you'll have your buttons show up right here: voicemail drop, transfer button, hang up button. Since these are dummy numbers, it just went away fairly quickly. We're going to go ahead and refresh. Same thing shows up, but since the numbers are not working numbers, okay, let's see. So this stays here. So we're going to go ahead and hang up. Whenever you hang up in the campaign dialer, you always want to use the red hang up button. You do not want to hang up the physical phone. If you hang up the physical phone, that is going to end the dialer altogether, and you'll have to restart it. Whenever you hang up a call, let's say that you actually reach the customer, or whenever you select the hang up option, the call result box is going to show up. That's where you'll set your call result. If you can set a disposition there if you reach the customer. And then you can also leave some notes about the customer, their account, and everything as well. So do keep that in mind. Your call result box is going to come up after you select hang up. If you leave an outbound voicemail, it won't come up because you've already left the voicemail. We're going to hit refresh. We'll just keep going through here. Going through, and this is basically what you're going to do. You're just going to keep going through until you reach the end of it. Once you reach the end, you can hang up your phone, and the dialer is over. When you go back in to try to start the dialer, it will tell you campaign complete right here. Okay, and I do want to show you what the call result box looks like, so I'm just going to actually call a sample lead real quick, just to give you an idea of what that call result box looks like. Okay, so yeah, whenever you're in the campaign dialer and you hang up a call, this call result box is going to show up. So here you can leave some notes, you can update your dispositions, and then you'll set your call result. Do not call if they're either on the do not call list and they let you know, or they ask you to never call them again. If you actually spoke a voicemail into their mailbox, you can hit this option to indicate that you left a voicemail. Reached, if you reached them, and then not available if they're not available. If you reach a customer, that's when you want to set a disposition. Only when you have actually spoken to that lead or that customer. Anything else, if it's a voicemail, not available, or do not call, it's a voicemail or not available, you won't set a call result. If it's do not call, we do have a do not call disposition listed there as well. So I did just want to show off that call result box just to give you an idea of what it is. We're going to go back to our campaign. And now you see we've called everybody on this list. All of the buttons are blue, or the little dots here are blue, indicating that these people have been called. And so now we can go in and filter this campaign. Let me actually just do a little thing here. Already, so we'll leave that. Okay, this one has none. I'm just going to set some dispositions real quick, just to illustrate how to use the filtering for the campaigns. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave that as is. All right, so we've set some dispositions. Now we're going to go in and refresh filters. Okay, it's a two-step process, much like uploading a campaign. Anybody that you've set an appointment for, you can either exclude them or you can include them. We're going to exclude appointments. We've already reached those people. We set an appointment to call them. We don't need to dial them again in the dialer. Customers, anybody that uses disposition as a customer. Dispositions that mark people as customers are by default new sale and already sold. If you're customizing your dispositions, it might be a different disposition altogether that sets your leads as customers. Remove excluded. Anything that we're excluding, we're going to go ahead and remove it. We're going to shuffle the records to call them in a different order. And then we're going to reset all voicemails that have been left if they were leaving pre-recorded outbound voicemail drops. Then we're going to include certain call results. We're going to include all call results. And then we're going to include certain dispositions. So we're going to include none. We're going to exclude the quoted. And we're going to leave the already sold alone, because already sold, since already sold labels them as customers, by the fact that we're excluding customers, this lead is going to be excluded off this list. Okay. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and filter. And now it says one record will be reset to uncalled. You'll hit the refresh button, and now we just have this one record here. And then we can go back into the dialer, start the dialer, and we can call him that way. Or we could have just simply did a click to dial and called him that way as well. Okay. Press 1, let it load up. Number's disconnected. We're going to refresh. Just going to go ahead and hang up that call. Now the campaign has been complete. We can go back in. He's been called. This assume we left the call result, and we're done that way. So that's sort of the basis of campaign dialing. I'm going to go back into our campaigns here. Now we see that there's only one lead left. We called it 100%. We can go ahead and delete this campaign entirely. Like I said, deleting a campaign, it does not remove the leads off the list. I mean, out of your system. It just removes the campaigns list. Okay? All right. So I believe that will do it for the campaign webinar. If you have any questions for me, I will leave the dashboard open so that we can go ahead and get those questions answered. If you do not have any questions right now, you can definitely give us a call at our service desk, 888-310-4474. You can also email us. Our email address is service@dyl.com. So please, send us your questions, give us a call, and we'll go ahead and help you out. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day as well.